So from there, we'll go to Dynamite.
Right. You get everybody watch Dynamite. Oh, what were the numbers, Joe? I thought it was like the same as usual.
640 down.
Why don't you put them up so we could see them, Joe?
Down 4% from last week. Yeah, I'm putting up the quarters now. But no, because I wanted to scroll down and get to NXT, which did 672. So that's not good optics.
All right.
I think Dave was showing the demos and being like, well, a .20 on cable is better than
that's indefensible. That's indefensible.
I know.
Like, why is he, if he's actually doing that, he's embarrassing himself.
He is.
I mean, if you're going from a large stadium to Comic-Cons and smaller venues, your TV ratings have fallen to 600,000, like,
you're not beating anybody, right? You're not even
beating NXT.
Right. You're losing right now and trying to put a shine instead of addressing all the
right. You're a cold product. Right. You have no buzz. Well, you can't even. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the show, okay? Right. Because there was a couple. I mean, these shows are flat, but there was a very noticeable thing I want to bring up of why one of the reasons that they are flat. Okay. So it starts off with they played that video, that November Rain video. It's actually a pretty decent video, so I can't
the one ECW used to do.
Yeah. So it started with a positive thing, good video, right? Well done. So then they go straight, like they always do. They go straight to the 8-man tag match with no package to explain why all these 8 people are in this match against each other. Okay,
right? And
none of the announcers. If you were listening to this like I was, okay, because I actually listened to like the first. I'm listening to when I watch a show, I'm watching it with a critical eye because I want to see like what the announcers are saying, what like because how they're handling the fact that they're just when they start this show, like why does this show consistently lose numbers in the first 15 minutes every single week? Okay, like literally every single week. When was the last time there's been a week where the number went up?
I don't know.
It's been forever, right?
It's always drop off.
So none of these announcers are like taking
last week was
charge and trying to explain everything here, right? So basically, this thing came down to because the Mark Davis guy's coming back, and him and Ospreay and Fletcher were all together, and they're also going to they're going to Ricochet versus. So they try to do some spots to splinter those off, but at the end they did the most obvious looking spot where the Davis guy Fletcher was getting up. Davis was getting up behind him, okay? And then the camera shot, you could just clearly see, okay, they're setting up the spot where he's going to run at him, and he's going to duck, and he's going to hit the other guy. And they didn't really do it that well because, like what I say, like when you throw a clothesline at a guy in the ring, and it's a missed clothesline, the guy's going to duck it. You should always throw it like you're trying to take the guy's head off. Right. If he doesn't duck and forgets the spot that's on him, but you have to make it look like you're trying to kill the guy to make it look realistic, right? Ospreay wasn't really aiming at Fletcher. He just ran and just like they actually could make like a storyline out of it because he just went straight at it and just clobbered the Davis guy because Fletcher ducked, and the timing made it look like he just hit Davis on purpose. In my opinion, that's the way it was executed. And he acted like it was an accident, but in the end the heels go over. But that was the story of the match is that he hit Davis and whatever. What did you think of this match?
Any comments, Joe or Harry?
I mean, I thought the match was pretty good. I enjoyed the match. The finish, I understand why they did it, and I got a feeling that Mark Davis is going to turn on Ospreay and join the Don Callis family. But you had stories that intertwined right there with Ricochet and Ospreay, but you also had
What's that word?
Intertwined.
Intertwined or
intermingled.
Intermingled. There you go. Intertwined. Yes. I mixed both words right there and made it one. But what I meant is you could see the same thing. Ospreay against Takeshita. He's the guy that beat Ospreay for the championship. And you had Hobbs coming back, but it's just too much at the same time, man, and too soon. You weren't here, Konnan, but when they brought back Powerhouse Hobbs, they tried to explain, his contract with the Don Callis family just expired, so now he can tag team with Ricochet against the Don Callis family. I'm like, crap, I watch AEW every week. I didn't even remember that.
Right.
It's like
you comment on this?
The action, but the action was good. The storytelling, they could have done better.
All right, so I hadn't seen the show in 6 weeks. Let me tell you what stuck out to me immediately. how low budget the show looks. With all this money they're making and getting, and they're going to be the most profitable thing. It looks like
next year.
Well, they have money this year too.
And the guy's worth $8 billion. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like when I look at Impact looks way better, and it's a better show. But anyways, starting with the lighting looks low rent. The set looks low rent. Just looks like an indie promotion. But going back to the show, I thought the first match was good because that's the type of match I like, a lot of action. And they're kind of going back to the formula when they first started, 5 against 5, 4 against 4. You know, Ospreay had a good hot tag. I hadn't seen Hobbs in a while, so I was like wondering, when did he come back? You know, he got a hot tag and went off. Takeshita won. I guess they're trying to push him, but he doesn't really come off like a star.
And the worst part is they didn't announce Takeshita versus Ospreay after this match. They waited until
Takeshita versus Ricochet.
Sorry, Takeshita against Ricochet in the show. They waited until a day or two later on social media, which I'm like, dude.
Well, they probably didn't know what was going to happen. They hadn't booked it yet. I heard Tony's booking stuff dead last minute and actually changing things on the fly during the show. People at the shows are not knowing what's going on and stuff and everything, which is kind of like
sounds like formerly Vince McMahon.
But WCW used to be like that. But we were selling out, and it was like the places. You know, it was like it was a good show. So Moxley and his crew, what are they called? The Death Riders.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Moxley's sitting there cutting a promo, talking about how Orange Cassidy's a threat to his people, and he will destroy him in full gear. So then Claudio yelled in a foreign language about Darby. I thought that was entertaining. So then they go to Darby in another part of the building. He has a skateboard. He said Cassidy put the chair around the neck of Bryan Danielson, pulled the trigger in his career. He said every one of the Death Riders will have their day, and today's Claudio's day. So here's this Death Riders group, and they're talking really badass. You got these 2 little 180-pounders that are standing up for AEW.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well,
any comment on this?
Well, when I looked at the team, Moxley, Castagnola, the girl Shafir, I think is her name, and Utah.
Marina Shafir.
Yeah, they don't come off as intimidating, as badass, nothing like that. Moxley's the only guy that speaks, which is probably the best because nobody else does good promos. Whatever they were doing before I went into the hospital, I had no interest in. And now that I got out, I still have no interest in. They just don't come up. The Hurt Business looks more intimidating than them.
Okay, so the Hurt Business shows up.
Right. In
a car. And Swerve comes out of nowhere.
I hate to correct you, but it's the Hurt Syndicate.
Oh, Hurt Syndicate.
Don't want to get in trademarking problems, bro.
You know what they need to do? Let's do this on our own, okay, over the course and for our listeners, okay? They should just call themselves Hurt, H-U-R-T, and let's think of an acronym to fill in for H-U-R-T. Okay, not the Hurt, just Hurt. That's the name of the group, Hurt, or Hurts, and then they can bring in Jalen Hurts to to. So,
well, he may be out of a job soon if Wilson keeps playing like that. But go ahead.
Well, no, that's Jason.
No,
that's Field. No, Hurts is the quarterback for the Eagles. He's yeah.
My bad.
The tushy pushy guy.
Yeah.
The tushy push.
Tush push.
I like to call it the tushy push. Do you like that better, Cody? Do you like tush push or tushy?
Yeah.
Brotherly push.
You know what they should do? They should have a spot where they get like a Hooters girl. And they line her up under center, and they all do the tushy push, and they're all pushing her in the ass.
You would go from Jason Kelsey one year to a Hooters girl the next.
So this was funny. The Hurt Syndicate gets out of the car. They look like $1 million, and Swerve comes up out of nowhere and punches Lashley and knocks him right to the ground and runs away.
Right.
All right, which was kind of like a weird spot. But by the way, the theme of the show, okay, Konnan, remember how we talked about WWE is very good at booking heat?
Right.
Watch the theme of this show. The theme of this show is the baby faces are getting heat on the heels.
Right, which is weird.
The weirdest.
But let me tell you, what makes it doubly weird. This is the go home show.
No, yeah. Right? It was like the weirdest concept. Yeah. It's like, what? Okay, so
so this unless all the heels win in the pay-per-view, then it's like doesn't make sense. But the one thing I didn't like about this segment was that MVP came out and he announced that Bobby Lashley was going to be making his in-ring AEW debut in a 2-on-1 match. Something that the announcers had already said during the first match.
Right.
Which I'm like, okay, what are you bringing to the table? And then it's like something we already know of.
I'd like to see the numbers for that too when we get there. Okay. We get the numbers up.
They're up on the screen.
So this was a great segment. So Adam Cole comes out. He's talking about MJF and said Rockets are going to whoop him. So Kyle O'Reilly comes out. And now, mind you, Kyle O'Reilly, all he's been doing for the past 4 months is standing there while the what's the tag team kid? The who's the guy? The brother's the one that died.
Mark Briscoe.
All he's been doing is standing there while Briscoe does all the talking, all the promos, and watching the monitor when when these guys like Adam Cole or these guys are wrestling, okay, or like any of the guys from his old friends, Roderick Strong. So Riley comes out there to tumbleweeds and crickets, and said the crusade with MJF needs to end before someone gets hurt. O'Reilly said Strong wants to end MJF because of Cole. And he doesn't have a good feeling about it. And Cole asked O'Reilly if O'Reilly didn't think Strong could get the job done. And O'Reilly said MJF is likely 3 steps ahead of them. O'Reilly said Cole needs to accept that MJF is more of an evil than he'll ever be, and that's a good thing. He dropped the mic and left the ring. And this might have been the flattest in-ring segment that's been on TV in some time. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Harry?
Boring, man. I was falling asleep.
Because
you know what?
The best part was Adam Cole's entrance. Besides
let me tell you. So we know that Adam Cole and Roderick Strong go back to NXT and Kyle and all that, right? But I never thought that you could make them uninteresting to me. I'm a good friends with Rod Strong, but this is super uninteresting to me.
Yeah, me too.
I was interested in the pay-per-view match if it was a 3-way and Adam Cole was included in. And now that it's MJF versus Roderick Strong, I'm not interested.
I'm not even interested in that.
Roddy.
Yeah.
But I'm I wanted to see MJF and Adam Cole in the same ring. Now we're not going to get it.
So the next tiny little backstage segment was kind of like a glaring indicator of one of the major problems they have right now, okay? Because Orange Cassidy delivered a backstage promo, and he spoke about making an example out of Wheeler Yuta later. Then Mark Briscoe, Rocky Romero, and Tomohiro Ishii showed up. And Briscoe said they would have Cassidy's back, and Cassidy asked him to stay out of it for reasons beyond me. I don't know why he would say that, because the other guys always bring their crew.
Right.
Then Cassidy looked into the camera and told Moxley to do what he's going to do tonight, but on Saturday he'll need all the help he can get. Bro, this is the main event match, and this is like the babyface top faction. And I'm looking at these guys really? Rocky Romero, Ishii, and Mark Briscoe, and Cassidy. This is like their top of the card faction right now.
I don't think they're top of the card.
That's my question.
They're like mid carders to me.
Okay, but that's my point. This is a problem. Who else babyface faction right now is above these guys right now?
I mean,
nobody.
I would just go with Shane Strickland by himself.
Okay, but this is the
all
issue.
These guys together.
They desperately miss like Kenny Omega right now. They desperately miss Edge. They desperately miss
Kingston.
Danielson.
Eddie, bro, they're missed. There's no top baby.
But even if they were there, bro, it wouldn't make a difference. But probably continue.
Not. Okay, so next we do Chris Statlander against Hikaru Shida because Statlander is wrestling Mercedes. Moné. So after the match, Mercedes comes out with Camille, who's still got the arm in a sling, and Moné mocked the crowd and talked about the 76ers. She got that shut the chance, and I don't think it was a lot of heat. I just think they just don't like that. They are just done with Mercedes Moné being pushed in the spot. Yeah. Is what I get out of it. I don't know if you guys get the same thing.
For sure.
Then she ordered. Now Camille has been completely neutered, and she's useless right now. But
1,000%. I was going to say the same thing, and I'll say it. Yeah.
Because every single time there's a tall character that has a small character, this is a rinse and repeat of every single angle they've done with two heel characters, with one is tall and one is short. Okay. Camille took a swing at Statlander and blocked it, and Statlander and Shida cleared Camille from the ring. And Moné entered the ring and went for a backstabber with Statlander, who blocked it and then hit Moné with the Wednesday Night Fever. So the heels go over. The baby faces get heat on the heels here, okay? And this is to go home for the paper. So let me give you Powell's POV.
You know Moné's going to win that match.
Of course.
Right.
Okay, Powell's POV. There was no mystery regarding the outcome given the Statlander challenge Moné at Full Gear. It's too bad. It's a pretty good match that would have been suspenseful under different circumstances. Is it just me, or does Moné have go-away heat? No, it is not just you.
What do you have to say, Harry?
They could use her character way better, and you can make that heat be something that is actually heat that fans want to see her get defeated for the right reasons. I think the booking has just been not the right way around her. And at the beginning, wasn't she supposed to come in with her own writer and with people that
WWE chick came in with her?
Yeah. So I mean, unfortunately, it's not going the right way, and it's just been the way that she's been booked, man.
But yeah, when they started to say the shut, I thought the same thing. She must have go away heat. They got to Camille way too early. They should have never have touched her. She's been punched, pushed, ran off by just about everybody.
Yep.
You know.
Did you see the SUV situation, Konnan, or no?
Completely she's not menacing at all anymore.
Yeah, well, they got her arm in the door. And what's happened is they've gotten Camille to take early too many bumps, which is diluted her powerhouse aura.
Do you think when the time comes that Mercedes will put her over? Because you have to imagine that they're going to do the bodyguard getting pushed around, finally can't take it anymore.
I'm so uninterested in Moné that I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
So the camera catches up with MVP and Shelton Benjamin, and they're going backstage. Now, earlier, Swerve Strickland had a fur coat on, a white fur coat. So they go backstage, and there's a black guy with his back to them with a mink coat on, just like Swerve. They think it's him. They turn it around. It's some mark. And is it a mark? Or is it a wrestler? Who was that, Harry?
Sure it was a wrestler. I mean, it wasn't a wrestler on the AEW active roster, but it's just a guy that nobody knows.
It was Swerve. It wasn't Swerve, and they beat the guy up. And I'm like, all right, whoever thought that spot would like resonate, like, you know. So next is the most interesting thing for me, okay? Because Bobby Lashley's first match back. Now there was a bunch of, not a lot, but there was some mark on Twitter that was being very condescending, that people did not know independent legend Cheeseburger. I guess we're supposed to. He's a Ring of Honor legend?
Yep.
Cheeseburger?
Yeah, I don't think he's an independent legend. I think
thought he was
a Ring of Honor legend.
They made it sound like this, like we're supposed to know this guy, and I know this guy's never been on WWE.
They always do that, bro. How many times? They've been doing that since the beginning.
Joe Keys' work was Joe Keys was a jobber. Unfortunately, Lashley gave the guy some offense.
Right.
His offense killed the match because it was so fake looking. He was throwing punches that were missing the guy by a foot. Okay, the guy was terrible. So Lashley beat these guys up.
And who actually thought Joe Keys and Cheeseburger were going to beat this guy?
Well, they weren't, but it's a handicap match for Lashley. But Lashley didn't even look good. He should have just
right. It should have been a squash match. Bro, it should have been a straight squash match.
Like the old school early 80s squashes where the jobbers don't even know how to work.
They did right. They got nothing in.
And stiff them with some forearm.
Or a little more.
They were so weird.
Like even a little more recent, it's 10 years now, but how Ryback would come in and beat 2-3 guys. He would just whoop them, boom, hit his finish, out, you know? So
carry both of them at the same time, make something look like.
Yeah. Okay, so after the match, Swerve's music played, and Prince Nana came out with a chair and stood on the stage, and Benjamin went after Nana. And Swerve crawled out from underneath the ring and the blindsided Lashley, and Swerve fought off MVP and Benjamin, hit Lashley with a house call kick, and fled the ring and stood the crowd for long distance showdown. The babyface goes over on the dude.
Okay, I want to hear any comments from Disco Joe or Harry.
I'll tell you right now.
I felt. Wait, just 1 second. I felt this is way too early for Lashley and Swerve to be hooking up.
I mean,
agree.
Yes. Okay,
but at the same time, it's like, what have people been asking AEW to do? Put their top guys against their top guys.
Yeah, but
it's too quick, bro. This is too quick, and that's one of their problems. They should have made people want this match. Done something else. They got there too quick. He shouldn't have put his hands on Lashley this early. It's Bobby Lashley, bro. It isn't Cheeseburger.
Yeah. I'll say this. I'm more interested in that match than in the championship match.
Do you remember those old Saturday Night Live skits where they go Chee Boogie, Chee Boogie, Chee Boogie?
Yeah. Belushi. And Dan Aykroyd. Cheeseburger. Yeah.
Chee Boogie, Chee Boogie, Chee Boogie.
Yeah.
They should play that on the screen before Cheeseburger comes out.
Right. That would be great.
Hey, you should have seen Cheeseburger's hat that he used to use in Ring of Honor, dude. It was hilarious.
I'll pass on that. Renee Paquette spoke with Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa. Mina Shirakawa was hot.
Good question. Cheeseburger or Niño Hamburguesa?
I don't really know who Cheeseburger is, so I'll say Nino. How about you?
Because Nino had Burguesa that they show him eating burgers and stuff for thing. He plays his gimmick, right?
Right.
Cheeseburger is just some guy named Cheeseburger.
You got a 320-pound guy against a 140-pound guy.
So who would you rather
Oh,
would
Niño
you pick?
Hamburguesa, 100.
Right.
1,000 stuff.
Okay, so the next spot, I like this next spot because Mina Shirakawa and Mariah May are out there. Mariah May said some cuss words that were beeped out, but Shirakawa said she's very proud of May. Will give her a celebration and say they'll turn Rampage into Glampage because they're wrestling on Rampage coming up. And they shook their boob. That's the thing now. Because, bro, they got a lot of hot girls. They should just get all the hot girls out there just shake their, every week and just like because it'll get over. But these two chicks are pretty hot. I'll say this: the AEW Women's Division does have a lot of smoke shows on their show. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So next was Darby versus. Go ahead.
I watched Rampage last week because it was Mina Shirakawa against Harley Cameron. It was a Rampage. Sorry, Rampage. Yeah, Mina versus Harley Cameron. That was a very good match.
So I had to watch this because it was Claudio versus Darby Allin, and it was like everything bro, you can't turn the channel during a Darby Allin match.
But wasn't there? Did you miss this, or does it come after? Wasn't there a thing where they kidnapped Jack Perry?
No, that's later. Yeah,
okay,
we're getting there. Yeah. So this was great because Darby is willing to let the guy do anything to him. He was, bro. He picked him up over his head and just chucked him onto a table.
Right.
It didn't take the bump very good. I mean, but Darby is like just a crash test dummy, and just, I mean, it's compelling television. But he just basically, got beat with a big giant clothesline, just got pinned.
But
which I would have preferred they like screwed him over, But whatever.
They screwed up that spot, no? Don't you think? The table
they did
spot?
because the ref. Yes, he missed. He didn't hit the part of the table he was supposed to hit.
But he hit like the railing and then he hit the table. That's why the table didn't break.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is Darby Allin doing, man?"
I would love to wrestle Darby Allin because I would just say, "Let me do this to you. Let me do this." And he'd be okay. So I bet you people just love wrestling this guy because
what was the
number on this, by the way? What was the number here on this one?
630.
But nothing really went up or down. I did notice here in 667 going into the 9 o'clock hour for the end of the sheet of Statlander and stuff in the start of the Bobby Lashley match. So maybe Lashley came out and got a number a little bit, So they showed MJF.
Okay, so what do you think of this, Harry?
I mean, it was a great match. I just hate seeing Darby taking those bumps that don't go the right way because I hope to watch Darby Allin for many more years. But if these accidents keep happening, that's not going to be the case.
Let me make a point here, Harry. These are not accidents. They're voluntary decisions to do these spots, which is why it's tougher to watch. Because like the guy is like literally doing high risk stuff that's high risk of injury and submitting himself to do it, and the other guy's actually co-signing to do it to him, and it's like I'm just you're worried.
Whatever happens.
He's gonna break his neck one day. It's like So I don't know. That's why you can't take your eyes off the guy.
Yeah, I think Darby's become my favorite character in AEW. His selling and bumps are top notch. Claudio never has a bad match. That spot you talked about was tremendous. He also did another one, which was great, where he had him in a vertical suplex and climbed up the ring steps with him. And he sells really good for smaller guys. I thought this was a really good match.
Okay, so next, Renee Paquette interviewed Private Party. And they're the champions, by the way, Konnan. And they come across as a bunch of kids. So Quen spoke up about defending the titles. And the Costco guys. Konnan, let me fill you in on this. I guess these Costco guys, I don't really know this. They're a big deal. This Big Boom AJ guy's wrestling QT at the pay-per-view. And who was the other one? The kid? What's his name?
His son?
What's his name?
I got
the
no
Rizzler
clue what his
or
name
something?
is.
He's got like a
No.
gimmick.
So the Rizzler is a 7-year-old kid. I had no clue who the Rizzler was. I had to Google him.
Okay, so
what does a 7-year-old kid have to do in this match?
Because he's going to be at the pay-per-view. The Rizzler is.
Who is he?
And he got a pop when he got mentioned.
Okay, but who is he?
Bro, that's you got to watch Costco. You got to know about Costco. But this guy's over enough.
I got to know about Costco. Do they have a TV show?
There you go. Them three.
Commercial. Okay, well, let me explain this because I don't know. Konnan, I know as little as you do. Okay,
right.
But these guys are over enough to where they got a spot on Fox Business with Tony Khan to promote the show.
Right.
on Fox Business.
Yeah, they're influencers on TikTok.
Right.
Okay.
And the guy's
TikTok,
promo was
don't
brutal.
stop.
He's
Right.
like, you said about the cookies. He talked about this was just.
Yeah, I was wondering who are these guys because they kept going boom, boom. And I was like, what?
They're fans of our show. So they cut a promo. Who cares? So next they go to MJF in a sports car. Oh, by the way, the reason we found out, Konnan, the reason MJF has been off TV, he's filming a movie, an Adam
Right.
Sandler movie.
That's great. Pay a guy millions of dollars and he can go off to make movies.
Yeah.
I think he's already wrapped up filming that movie like a month ago or a month and a half ago. So it's been weird that he's been off TV this long.
So MJF cut a promo about Roderick Strong growing up with alcoholic parents and said Strong's mother shot his father in front of Strong. It's like, who does he think he is? Buff Bagwell? MJF said Strong's upbringing is the reason Strong will do anything for Cole and said Cole's a fraud. He thinks deep down he actually cares about Strong. And MJF said he wants Cole to watch a person he cares about suffer. Said he would send Strong back to the trailer park. He said he would beat him so badly that Strong will wish his mother.
I went through a little TikTok binge just to try to figure out who these Costco guys are, and not for me. And
well, they should have had a package for him or something, right? I mean, like, to explain who they are.
And then same thing when they said the Rizzler and all the crowd went. So I think I heard that the old guy or the older guy, the father, he's a worker. He actually's been in the wrestling business before.
Right.
But the kid, I have no clue. And then they mentioned the Rizzler, and I was like, is that another wrestler I'm supposed to know of that is popular and fans like? And then I go online and see it's a 7-year-old kid. I'm like, man, I understand it's a pre-show match and that they're hoping that they get some people from TikTok to tune into the YouTube show, the YouTube pre-show, and get a couple buys off of that. But definitely not for me. In the past, I used to watch the whole shows from the pre-show all the way till the end. This one I'm definitely skipping. What's up, Raider? You okay? Sorry.
Hang on. Give me a second here.
Yeah, DI. This guy wrestled from the 90s until 2005. It says the dad he wrestled as the American Power Child, Eric Justice. So there you go.
Who?
The dad from the Costco guys. He wrestled for about, well, it says from the 90s until 2005. So maybe he's got 10 years as an indie wrestler, and he was around Jersey. Maybe I came across him. I don't know. But
you're gonna go against QT, and QT's a very solid worker.
Yeah, I was saying, I didn't realize I was muted. I was saying I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually good. I think QT could pull that off. And if this guy's got enough experience, and they put some and Gaga in there, it'll probably be fine.
So next they show up. So Tony Schiavone introduces Roderick Strong, comes on with Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. And said he hadn't slept since last Wednesday because he would finally get his hands on MJF. And he said people have talked about his parents his entire life. He said he felt like he was in elementary school again. And Strong said if you want to break the cycle, you have to earn it. And Strong said when things don't go MJF's way, he throws a tantrum until he gets what he wants. And Strong told MJF to look in the mirror, think about all the bad things he's done to people. And Strong said MJF will pay for all of his sins at full gear. Strong said he would sleep well knowing they broke MJF's back and left him humbled. This got crickets and tumbleweeds again.
Literally the only people clapping were the other guys from his group.
Yeah, you hear the crowd was so bad you could hear like individual people clapping, like singulars, like a singular clap from the audience. Like
it was Mike Bennett. It wasn't even the audience. It was Mike Bennett behind him clapping. No, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But throughout the show, you could hear this. Like people there'd be like a couple like individual claps, So they actually showed a video package here. They actually had a couple video packages. This one with Danny Garcia about the angle with them tying Jack Perry to the front of his bus and drive the bread truck driving away. So they set up footage of Perry tied to a chair. This is kind of looks like, what was that Reservoir Dogs kind of like scene where the guy was in the chair getting tortured. Garcia said Perry tried to end Menard's life. So by the way, there's two baby faces here. It's Garcia and Menard. And they've got the heel by himself.
Right, that's backwards.
Dude, you don't gotta tell me. This is the whole theme of the show is the baby faces or the heels.
But this is even worse. The heels are kidnapping the baby. The baby faces are kidnapping the heel, not the other way around.
Right. So
where's the heat there?
Garcia grabbed a tire iron and broke one of the headlights on Perry's bus. And then Perry laughed and asked if that was it. And then they just left.
Yeah, this was brutal, Bob Evans.
He hit the bus a couple times, and the bus is a piece of trash.
So
anyway.
you've got a whole week to think of something between three guys, and this is what you came up with?
Yeah, yes, it did.
Right.
So this is Powell's POV. Anything Bo Dallas can do, Danny Garcia can do better. The next time a wrestler or creative team member pitches a kidnapping angle, they should be disqualified from submitting creative ideas for 6 months at the very least. Would you agree with that, Konnan?
I would.
So Renee Paquette had a contract signing between Jericho and Tomohiro Ishii, and dude, in a dumpy dressing room with like a compilation. This is in a dressing room. Jericho said he has a legal team that needs to approve the contract, and Ishii's in there. So Paquette said it was sent to his legal team already. Said he signed it when he was ready, then he left the room. And he literally left the room, and they followed him. And he walked throughout, like all through the arena with Ishii following him. And I guess they were trying to get like this, maybe like a Halloween movie vibe, like Michael Myers is like,
right.
After him.
They went from backstage to the
all the way backstage, concourse,
in the
all the way to the
stands,
ring.
into the ring.
And Jericho's acting scared. Okay. So Jericho got a mic and told Ishii that would sign the contract, but he doesn't have a pen. Oh, what a great, clever spot that was.
Right.
Guess what
This
Ishii
guy
had?
happened to have.
What are the odds, right?
So then Big Bill and Brian Keith entered the ring and attacked Ishii from behind, and Bill and Keith held Ishii while Jericho threatened to stab him with the pen. So the time cue for the music was a good 5 seconds late here. Okay, Mark Briscoe and Rocky Romero run out to help Ishii, and the babyface together cleared Big Bill from the ring, and then hit Romero with a suicide dive, and Briscoe hit the J Driller and Keith, and Ishii gave a brainbuster to Jericho, picked up the contract, signed it, and dropped it on Jericho. The babyfaces went over on the heels again. More heat on the heels.
Okay, so I thought when it began, it was kind of funny because, Jericho was trying to get away from him, and he, obviously the guy was pushing people out of the way and all that. But the payoff was lame. I thought it was going to be a better payoff. I have zero interest in this, bro.
Yeah. Wait, so when are they wrestling then if he signed the contract?
At the next pay-per-view.
Because it's not listed. That's what I was asking. It's not listed.
They're wrestling Wednesday on Dynamite.
They're wrestling on Dynamite.
Thanksgiving.
This isn't even pay-per-view worthy match. Unbelievable.
That sucks.
So Renee Paquette interviewed Jamie Hayter and asked her about being cut off. Oh, by the way, I'm missing something here. At some point, they had I don't know where it was, in the middle of the show, they had a video package. And it was like a 3-minute video package that had like 6 different angles summed up in 3. Like, it didn't even really like go over the storylines, the angles. It just like they did like a 30-second montage of each angle, and that was like their video package explaining everything that was going on, and you still didn't even know what was going on. So Renee,
the opening of the show, that one.
No, I thought it was like I don't think it was at the opening. Hang on,
with the music, the AC/DC. No,
was it at the beginning?
Yeah, it was at the beginning of the show.
Oh, okay,
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you know why? Because okay, well, I'll tell you in a minute. Because I missed the very beginning of the show, and I went back and watched it. That's probably why I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
why is everyone?
So Renee Paquette interviewed Jamie Hayter and asked about being cut off last week, and Hayter said she's baffled by Julia Hart's video interrupting her. Then Hayter brought up having a chat with Hart, and then they cut to the next Hart video, and it's like it had a narrator who spoke about the Black Throne and how Hart's heart is getting harder. They're doubling down into her being this like sinister character. Right. Just like nothing's changed. It's still funny to me, yeah. So your boy Wheeler Yuta wrestles
Disco. Before you go to the main event, what did you notice from the last couple of segments? They just put 7 consecutive talking segments back to back to back to back.
Oh, I guess they did. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they did.
I think they should have spread them out in the show a little bit better because, in my opinion, it just went too long without.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so they had the AJ, they had the Mark Quinn, they had the Big Boom AJ
party
talking segment. They had MJF in his car, like his
Cole before him.
Then they had
Cole and Strong.
Then they had Strong and the Strong's interview segment, and then they had the Jack Perry Garcia thing, and then they had the contract signing, and then they had the
Jamie Hayter,
yeah, and it's like. That's kind of funny.
7.
Look at the numbers gradually going down there. Like okay, so Orange Cassidy against Wheeler Yuta, and Orange Cassidy beats him. After the match, Cassidy. Okay, now mind you, Orange Cassidy told these guys to stay in the back. Okay?
Right.
So after the match, Cassidy approached Yuta, but Pac attacked him. So they all the other heels arrived. They put Cassidy only put Cassidy's hand in his pockets, and Pac wrapped duct tape around Cassidy's body. Now, guess what happened to me on this? Okay, I've got Hulu. The show ended.
Cut off.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. But Dave Meltzer says I'm supposed to record the next show, so that's on me. Okay. So
Disco. I mean, in the past, Raw used to have an overrun too.
Okay, so they did this
It's
thing
not
where
that they don't hit their times. They get an overrun, they're going to take advantage of it.
So Excalibur said the entire locker room needed to empty to save Cassie because Cassie's in peril here. He's got his hands in his pockets and they're beating him up, and he works his way to his feet and he gives his fake little toe kicks, and they just to Moxley like his gimmick, which just did not fit here at all. So they punch him. Then now all of a sudden his buddies come out, causing the Death Riders to make their exit. Then Briscoe cut the tape off of Cassie's arms, and Cassie looked at the heels and put his shades on and put his hands back in his pockets, and that's to go home for the pay-per-view. What'd you think of this?
They should have ended when they whooped his.
Right.
They should have showed him standing up again and
putting in his. They didn't even get the heat on him. He ended up seeing him standing up here.
They should have beat him within an inch of his life, and then just that be the ending of the show. No, he stands up, puts his sunglasses on, and he's ready. Come on.
By the way, he got his Wheeler Yuta most of this match too. By the way, you want to hear Pal's POV, Konnan, before you speak on this?
Go ahead.
As if Cassie wasn't enough of an underdog going into his title match with Moxley full gear, he got his kicked by the majority of the match by Wheeler Yuta. Why? Now, why was the post-match angle really supposed to get everyone excited about the match? Because Cassie put his shades on, his hands in his pockets? Overall, this was an absolute failure as a go-home show. It wasn't all bad from an entertainment standpoint by any means, but I can't say that anything about this show increased my level of excitement for Saturday's show. Konnan, do you have any comment?
I couldn't agree more, and I think at the end of the day, the Death Riders came out, duct taped his hands into his own pockets, took turns beating him. The conglomeration came out, and then he's standing tall. I mean, what's wrong with selling, bro? I mean, you had all these people beat you up, but, that's the genius that is their booking committee.
Yeah.
And if you want that to be the end, at least don't air it on TV. Let it be for the fans in attendance.
For the house,
on TV,
right?
Don't let it for the people on TV watch that, man.
All of their influencers, by the way, the Mark podcasters are turning on the product. Okay, they're all burying it and stuff and everything. But the only people steadfastly holding true are still the Fightful crew. Okay, because they still get they go to the media scrums. But yeah, this show is just they're in trouble right now.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.